Hello students, in class 8 science, today we'll start the new chapter, chapter 7, conservation of plants and animals. And in this video, we will discuss about deforestation and its causes, consequences of deforestation, biodiversity, biosphere reserve, flora, fauna and endemic species. First come to what is the meaning of deforestation and what are its causes. Deforestation means clearing of forest and using that land for other purposes. That is called deforestation. Now, what are the causes of deforestation? Man-made causes. Trees in the forest are cut for some of the purposes mentioned below. Procuring land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furniture, using wood as fuel, mining, dam construction. You can see these diagrams, causes of deforestation for agriculture, for building houses, to get furniture and papers, for the use of fuel, dam, mining. These are the man-made causes. There are some natural causes of deforestation are there. Forest fire, clear, and severe droughts. Okay, these are the some causes of deforestation. Now, what are the consequences of deforestation? Consequences means effects of deforestation. Deforestation increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. It increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which leads to global warming. Groundwater level also gets lowered. Deforestation disturbs the balance in nature. Deforestation destroys the habitats of many wild animals. If cutting of trees continues, rainfall and the fertility of the soil will decrease. There will be increased chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts. Deforestation also leads to a decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. Fewer trees, that is lesser trees, result in more soil erosion and gradually it leads to desertification. Okay, you can see the diagram, like this one is for pollution, this is for flooding of rivers. Animal and plant life is also affected by the deforestation and it also leads to the shortage of food. Now, what is the meaning of this global warming? Plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. All of you know. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, resulting in its increased amount in the atmosphere. When trees are less carbon dioxide will be used. That's why in atmosphere, amount of carbon dioxide will increase. And this lead to global warming. Why? Actually, carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. Okay. Droughts. How this deforestation leads to drought? Actually, due to increase in temperature on the earth disturbs the water cycle. And this disturbance may reduce rainfall and this could cause droughts. Okay. Desertification. Fewer trees result in more soil erosion. Removal of the top layer of the soil exposes the lower hard and rocky layers. And this soil has less humus and is less fertile. Gradually, the fertile land gets converted into deserts and it is called desertification. Okay, conversion of fertile land due to erosion into desert, that is called desertification. Floods. Deforestation also leads to a decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. the movement of water from the soil surface into ground, that is known as infiltration. In 7th class, we have discussed infiltration, seepage of the water to ground level. That is called infiltration. This is reduced, and so there are floods. Biosphere. What is the meaning of biosphere? Biosphere is that part of the earth in which living organisms exist or which supports life. You can see this diagram. Combined portions of the planet in which all life exists, including land, water, and atmosphere. You know, that is atmosphere, hydrosphere, that is water, atmosphere means air, and lithosphere means land. All these three combinedly make ecosystem, and this is called biosphere. Is it clear? Or ecosphere. Biodiversity. This is also known as the biological diversity. It refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationships, and their relationship with environment. Clear? You can say that is many organisms, variety of organisms at a particular place or on the earth, and how they are interrelated and how they are related to the environment. All these known as biodiversity. Protected areas for conservation of plants and animals. Actually, to protect these plants and animals, and plantation, cultivation, grazing, felling trees. Felling means cutting down trees. Hunting and poaching are prohibited in these protected areas. And these areas may be known as wildlife sanctuary or national parks or biosphere reserves. Okay. Come to what is the meaning of wildlife sanctuary. Areas where animals are protected from any disturbance to them and their habitat. For example, Nagzira Wildlife Sanctuary, Maharashtra, Sambhar Wildlife Sanctuary, Rajasthan, Ghairmatha Turtle Sanctuary, Orissa. Okay, National Park. Areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitats and natural resources. For example, Ranthambore National Park, Rajasthan, Kaziranga National Park, Assam, Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand. Biosphere Reserve. Large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plant and animal resources and traditional life of the tribal living in the area. That area is known as Biosphere Reserve. These are the some examples of Biosphere Reserve: Nilgiri, Gulf of Mannar, Sundarban, Nanda Devi, Pachmari. Okay. Now, what are the differences between wildlife sanctuary and national park? Wildlife sanctuary, the main aim is to protect a particular flora or fauna. Okay. And these are the highly known for preserving the flora, fauna, landscape and historical objects. Wildlife sanctuaries have lesser restrictions than national parks. National parks are highly restricted areas which are not open to all the people. There are no fixed boundaries in wildlife sanctuary. National parks have clearly marked boundaries. Human activities are allowed to a limited extent in wildlife sanctuary, while human activities are strictly prohibited in national park. Some examples of wildlife sanctuary are Gir Wildlife Sanctuary, Gujarat, Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary, Kerala, Bori Wildlife Sanctuary, MP. And example of national park: Ranthambore National Park, Rajasthan, Kaziranga National Park, Assam, Corbett or Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand. Now, what is the meaning of Biosphere Reserve? Biosphere reserves are the areas meant for conservation of biodiversity. Okay, and we already discussed what is biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety of plants, animals, and organisms generally found in an area. biosphere reserves help to maintain the biodiversity and culture of that area. A biosphere reserve may also contain other protected areas in it. For example, the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve consists of one national park named Satpura and two wildlife sanctuaries named Bori and Pachmari. You can see this is the diagram representing Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. In this you can see this is Satpura National Park, this is Bori Sanctuary, and this is Pachmari Sanctuary. Okay. Flora. The plants found in a particular area are termed flora of that area. For example, sal, teak, wild mango, jamun, silver ferns, arjun, etc. are the flora of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. These are the diagrams of these. This is sal tree, this is teak tree, this is wild mango, this is jamun, this is arjun, and this is fern. Fauna. The animals found in a particular area are termed fauna. That is flora. These are the plants of a particular area, and fauna means animals of a particular area. For example, chinkara, blue bull, barking deer, cheetal, leopard, wild dog, wolf are the examples of fauna of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. You can identify it from these diagrams. This is chinkara, this is blue bull, this is barking deer, this is wild dog, this is wolf, this is cheetal, and this is leopard. Endemic species. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are not naturally found anywhere else. A particular type of animal or plant may be endemic to a zone, a state, or a country. For example, sal and wild mango, these are the endemic flora of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. Okay, now what is the meaning of this species? Species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the members of a species can reproduce fertile offspring only with the members of their own species and not with members of other species. Members of a species have common characteristics. Okay. Now some examples. This is bison, Indian giant squirrel, and flying squirrel are endemic fauna of Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. You can see this is bison, this is Indian giant squirrel, this is also the giant squirrel in Pachmari Biosphere Reserve, this is flying squirrel. Clear? The destruction of their habitat, increasing population, and introduction of a new species may affect the natural habitat of endemic species and endanger their existence. Okay, students, subscribe my channel to get the new video. Thank you.